What up folks, CJ here, back again with another 2 cents. This time we're having a look at fixing your picking hand. I hope this video helps you going from a shitty picking hand technique to a good one. But what do I mean by that? So, when it comes to technique, a bad technique or fixing a technique should only occur when the technique doesn't do what it should do. What do I mean by that? Everybody's different. Everybody has a different picking technique. So I'm gonna have here a couple of examples about what I mean by that. Please look at the hands. I'm not meaning to sound like a creep, but look at the hands, okay? So see you right now.
Go.
So, as you can see, picking hands come in all shapes and sizes basically. But as long as they do what they need to do, you can do whatever you want. It is true that there is no right or wrong way to go by it, but there are things that you can do rightly and wrongly that can help you have a better or worse picking technique. But why should you even fix your picking technique in the first place, right? So why should you fix your picking hand? I mean, if it works, right? Well, I thought the same, and I've been playing now for 4 years. 3 of those I had a really bad picking technique. I used to play over my left knee, like this, and kinda play like this. And for instance, if I wanted to mute, I had to kinda come back and do a lot of shenanigans, like it wasn't a good technique. And then one day I came across this video of this guy that I never heard in my life. This guy is called Jason Richardson. And I don't like at all what he plays because to me it's too much. It's too much, you know, I don't like it. But I like his technique because I saw him play and how clean he was playing that I just lost my mind. So here's the clip.
It's more the cleanliness and all that stuff is way more right hand type stuff. So I pretty much like one of the things that Matt explained to me was like I try to maintain this kind of hand shape, like a flat one, kind of like that, not like a fist or something like that. Like try to make it as flat as possible so you can have as much surface area available to keep everything muted.
Right.
And one of the other things too, especially with arpeggios that I found. So you're not supposed to obviously, pick with your arm. You don't want to forearm pick ever, because that's really bad for your elbow and all those tendons and stuff like that, and you won't have anywhere near as much endurance. So with arpeggios, see how my arm is still going up and down, and it's just a little bit of a flick of my wrist at the top and the bottom.
So, as you just saw, Jason Richardson has a supreme technique. You may not like what he's playing, but how he's playing it, it's so clean and so superb. And as to why it sounds so good, I mean, he tells us in the video. His teacher instructed him to use a certain kind of technique, kind of flat hand to have the maximum surface to play a lot cleaner. And regarding playing clean, those of you who want to just say, well, CJ, I have a fret rap that takes care of playing clean. And what about Guthrie Govan, who has a fret rap? He plays very clean and he has supreme technique. Well, a fret rap is a tool. And I usually only use it during practice. For instance, when I have to do 25 minutes of legato, and yes, I have to do 25 minutes of legato, but that's a story for another day. I use a fret rap because I don't want to be 25 minutes like this and doing my crazy legato stuff. That's why I use a fret wrap. Only in this instance. A fret wrap should not be a gear that you are reliant on for clean technique. First point. Second point. When you're picking and you have to mute at the same time, a good picking hand technique takes care of that. Me, for instance, there's this riff in a Ghost song called From the Pinnacle to the Pit, and it's a muting riff. It's kind of like... right? And me playing this way, I would not be able to play this riff because I would be like, oh, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. It's impossible for me to play this riff with my previous picking hand. So that's another bonus. If you have the right picking hand technique, you can even mute properly. For instance, when you're playing sweeps, and I hope I don't fuck this up because this is a good take. But when you're playing sweeps, a good picking hand can make sweeps sound so much cleaner. That was just picking hand. As you can see, I'm not using a fret wrap. That's all in the picking hand. So please do yourself a favor, and if you're having issues with your picking hand and you're not sounding as clean as you could sound, god damn it, as you could sound, fix it. Invest some time into fixing your picking hand, alright? So, next step, how do you fix your picking hand? And you're not gonna believe what I'm gonna tell you to do. So how do you fix your picking hand? Well, I have two approaches for that. The first one is pretty good, but the second one is insane, but it helps. So, the first one is just basically keep your hand as flat as possible, rest it on the bridge, assure yourself that your fingers are not dangling, keep them nice and tight, tucked in, and for instance, just play a scale. And you don't need a metronome for this. Just play scales, just play power chords, just play chords. Whatever you need to do. But go as slow as possible because you're working on destroying an old habit. So for instance, I would just go and play a scale, right? Or play power chords. You just unlearn the habit by doing your new technique and focusing as long as you need. And I mean, it can take you a couple of weeks. I noticed it in the beginning of the year, and I would say it roughly took me 3 months. But don't be discouraged by it. Everybody's different. Just please do yourself a favor and work on that. Now, my second technique, or my second approach rather, is gonna involve a sock. Yes, I'm serious. It's not a joke. It's not a joke, I'm serious. And I promise you, it may sound crazy, but it works. So, just take an old sock. Preferably if it has a hole in it, so you actually use it for a good cause. But yeah, just take an old sock and put it on like a mitten. And actually, just expose your index and thumb. Your index finger and your thumb. Right? And hold your pick. Because of the sock, you don't have to think about tucking your fingers. They are automatically tucked in. So because you don't have to think about it, it can improve or increase the speed of you doing this technique. Or rather, reworking the technique. So, do the same as before. Play scales, play sweeps, play chords with your little mitten that is correcting your bad habit. Just keep on playing with your mitten as long as you need. And then once you can take it off, once you feel comfortable, just play without it. Just play without it. But, you know, keep your fingers tucked in and just keep on playing. And if you're noticing or seeing yourself slipping, just go back to using the mitten once in a while. It doesn't hurt. And I know it seems bizarre, but this really helped me. You don't know how much using an old sock that I had lying around there, which was probably not washed, helped me improve my picking hands. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on the topic. And again, thank you for voting on the poll. Next time I'm gonna make another poll for new videos, but I got some new video ideas coming, thanks to you again. And yeah, I'm CJ, these are my 2 cents, whatever, and I hope this helped you. So take care.